YouTube family, thanks for stopping by the channel. Whether you're here for the in-depth cryptocurrency analysis or the mediocre gaming clips, I appreciate your support. Per usual, the views in my videos are not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. And as always, keep the hate in your heart and not in my comments. Enjoy the content.
20,000 range and potentially a little bit below it. We're going to have to find out. But what we're going to do is I've already drawn some support and resistance lines. I'm going to walk you guys through all of those so that you can see exactly what I did here. Okay. And then I will break down a little bit kind of what you're seeing in the charts and everything here. All right. So first things first, we are going to go, this is on TradingView. This is the BTC/USD on Bitstamp. Okay. So on this one here, what I did is I started with the monthly candles. So each one of these candles here represents a whole month. All right. I then took my line over here on the side and I just drew across candle body closes and opens, right? So not wicks, just closes and opens. So I made those lines blue. So the monthly lines are blue that I drew. And then I will try to zoom in a little bit for you guys here so you can see a little bit better. There we go. So I drew all these lines just based off the candle bodies, opens and closes. These are just good support and resistance lines. We're kind of past the point where I think a lot of you guys probably aren't trading. You're just looking for areas that you can accumulate more. So I'm trying to give you some accurate price targets of where to accumulate, okay? And these are going to be amazing areas to watch, price action wise. The lines that I had drawn last time, we tapped like almost perfectly. And so I know that these are gonna continue to work in our favor. And this is just good areas for you to watch when we start hitting these price points to, you know, put a little bit in, watch if we break that level, or if we hold that level, if we break down, put a little bit more in at the next level, keep going. And then I'll show you guys where the bottom should be based off of what the previous price action was when we were in the 20,000 range, a long time ago, right? So here we have these blue lines. And then next I went to the weekly. I went to weekly candles and I took yellow. I made the yellow lines, the weekly candles. And if you see over here on the left side of your screen, right in here, these yellow lines I just drew on the areas that we had the most candles opening and closing on, right? So these are going to be the areas that you want to watch the price action for. And then you can see also the blue ones again. Pay attention to the blue lines. I know it's a ton of lines on the screen, so it can be kind of confusing. The blue ones are those monthly ones. So if we look at the wicks and where they were hitting on all of these, right, you can see when you start getting into a zoomed in time frame how they're interacting exactly with those price levels. Here from the 17th of May all the way to the 19th of July. So quite a good amount of time, right? A couple months that people are having to wait it out and just see this price just go up and down and up and down and up and down and not know which way it's going to go, which is pretty nerve-wracking. You can see that we were bouncing up and down in this range. And so I do these lines here on the price action. Very simple, right? So let's go to current price today and let's zoom in on the price action here. Remember, the blue lines are the monthly ones. So you can see all these candles recently that have been closing on the monthly lines right here, right? And then I drew, remember the yellow is the weekly, okay? And this yellow line is these weekly candles over here. We are currently losing that range. And we have broken down beneath monthly support. So the next area that we're going to watch for is going to be right about 33,000. Okay. And the line that I drew is actually at 32,868. So right around in that range, but let's just say 33,000 because people like big round numbers. And that's going to be the area that we're probably going to go stop have a wick up to, expect a wick from 33,000 up back to about the 35,000 range in this weekly candle. And I'm assuming if we don't close above that monthly support of the 35,000 area, that we are going to continue down. Even if we do close above it, there's a good chance we can still push down. Remember, the next monthly candle does not close until May 22nd. So there is a lot of time for this monthly candle to work out. If we go back to the monthly chart and we take another look at it, this candle could go all the way down here to this yellow line, like I'm saying, and then wick all the way back up. We're going to be looking at right around the 33,000 range to the low 32,000 range. So that's going to be a good range for us right there to see how we interact with the price. I personally think, since we have already broken down from this level of 35,000, that we're going to continue down to that 33,000 range, bounce off of it, come back up, and then from there we will probably continue back down. The next weekly support that we have, that I drew, is right at 30,000, a little bit above that, so 30,500-ish. And the next one past that, we're looking at 28,800. So that range is going to be huge too. The reason I'm saying that range is going to be huge, because if you look at the gap that we have here, right, from where these candles took off down here when we were at like 7,000 all the way to like 13,000-ish, we had just all of these monthly candles closing. I mean, there was from the 1st of June 2019 all the way to the 1st of October 2020. All of these candles were just in a very tight range. I went over this in my other video too. And then we blasted off, right? We just had these crazy monthly candles. Look at all of these monthly candles. Growth-wise, we're talking about from here, that was 482% to the next close, which it wasn't even actually where we ended up going. We actually went up another almost 550% or so, like that. So I think that's where we topped out, right around 550%-ish. And then we had a massive retrace. But look at this, right? We went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Then we had our top, and it only took us 3 months to retrace a full like 50%, which is pretty crazy. A lot of people can't handle that price action. So what's going to happen is we're going to come down and we're going to test these areas. At 33,000 to 32,000 range is going to be absolutely crucial. I think personally, just based off the fact that we're already breaking these monthly and weekly supports, we will continue down past that, meaning we're going to go to 30,000 down to 28,000 range. That's going to be our next range that we're going to watch. We will probably continue to see 2 to 3 months, maybe more from this point of these red candles. So I think it depends how fast it moves though, right? It could be one just crazy ass candle that just goes all the way down, and then all of a sudden we're screwed. So from here, once we lose the 30,000 to 28,000 range, we have no candles that are really here. There's no closes. It's just open price action. If we looked at the daily, I'm sure we'd see a lot of price action in between in here, right? But the next major part that we're going to look at when we go to the daily is all the way over here, back when we were heading up from this area. So remember, this last monthly blue line from 28,000, we had only like a week of price action that was in here, and there's not really too many candle bodies, opens and closes that were in the same area. It was just blasting straight off. You can see on these daily candles here, on these daily candles back when we were blasting off past 20,000, we just had lots of green candles. There wasn't really much price action up and down. It was just pretty much straight up. The next area that we had a bunch of candles really like hanging out and moving sideways, and the price action was trending sideways for a little bit before it made up its mind, was this range. It was 24,000 to about 22,700. That is going to be a massive accumulation zone. Massive accumulation zone. Past that, once again, we only had green candles over here on the side, right? There is only green candles. I'll give you a little zoom in here on this. Look, Green candles from our first range, once again, 24,000 to 22,800, 700-ish. There is just 2 green candles in those days, and 2 days, right? And then the next range underneath that we actually had candles opening and closing was from 20,000 down to 18,000, let's say, right? So this is going to be major buy zones. Absolutely major buy zones. I made these rectangles green so you can see with the whole chart here. Sorry, it keeps doing that. I'll blow this up for you so you can see a little bit better. We are expecting, personally, what I'm expecting from where we are here is dropping from our current price all the way down to possibly having a wick in this 18,000 range and then sucking all the way back up to above 20,000, potentially all the way back up to 22,000. So we could see just a crazy wick forming. Bitcoin is known to have those types of wicks, right? So if we were to do a measured move using our little ruler thing over there, all the way down to the bottom would be another 50% drop from where we are currently. 47.96% to the bottom of the ranges that I just drew. Pretty crazy. These are massive buy zones, okay? Massive buy zones. So once again, the buy zones you want to watch for our next price targets, right, are going to be right about 33,000, then right about 28 to high 28,000. And then the ranges you want to absolutely start accumulating every single coin that you have. You want to accumulate all of the SafeMoon, all of the XRP, Algorand, ICP is a really, really good one right now too that I think is extremely undervalued. All of those altcoins and everything. When this market dumps, you're going to want to be buying all of them up when you see Bitcoin going anywhere below 24,000 all the way down to 18,000. If it takes months and we stay in that range, which it probably will, because if we go back and we look at the daily times, right? Like, remember, these are daily candles that we have here in front of us. When we had our last massive sell-off from the top, okay? The last massive sell-off that we had from the top. I'll pull this up one more time for you guys before I wrap this video up. We had from the 19th of May, 2021, all the way to like the 21st of July. Actually, a little bit past that. It was like end of July, basically. So from the end of May to the end of July. So we're looking at 2 months that we just basically were moving sideways. Price was moving up and down. It wasn't really breaking out in one way or another, and nothing was sure. This could happen again. We could spend months down in this range from where we are now, which is just so crazy. So we could spend months dropping from here all the way down to here, okay? And then from there, we could just see it bouncing up and down and up and down, just back and forth, boop, 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 boop. And we're going to just buy everything that we can. Hopefully we do get 2 or 3 months in this range here. If we get 2 or 3 months in this range here, you're buying constantly. As Bitcoin's going up and down and up and down, you're buying and buying and buying. You have to be buying constantly. That's you don't have a choice at this point, first of all, right? But when it's going to do something like this, then come up and test here, and then drop down here, probably come back up and test here, and then you're going to go down to this range, and it's going to be something like this. And it's going to slowly start working its way back out until we get back up into this range. And then from there, we're going to be really looking at it blasting off, okay? So expect this type of price action. Screenshot this chart. Remember these lines that you're seeing here, all of these lines. Look at the prices on the side. This is exactly what we're looking for, okay? This is what's going to happen. I can almost promise you, because we're losing all of this support really quickly. If we go over the stochastic and the MACD, we're in a red cell wave. We got rejected here, right, off that last MACD crossover. Did not happen. Like I was warning you guys, was very possible. And now our MACD sell wave is picking up. Our stochastic RSI crossed over to the downside, and we are going to be looking around to just bounce around in this range here. And like I said, screenshot this. If we break these levels, remember, blue levels are very important. Yellows are weekly, so they are still very important, but they're not as important at the blue as the blue levels, because those are the monthly ones. This is what we're looking for, guys. I hope this video is helpful. Please like, share it. I need to get my views back up. I've been losing a lot of views from people that don't seem as interested when crypto is not just blasting off to the moon. This is the hardest part of being in crypto, is having all of your money and all of this stuff just kind of go to crap after you bought the top and you have all of your investments down 50, 60, 70%. Well, unfortunately, we have another 50% we can go down from where we are now before I think we're really going to see a substantial bounce out of it. So once again, I will give you another shot to take a picture of this, save it on your phone. Remember these buy levels here on the side, okay? When you see Bitcoin in these green boxes, buy every single asset that you can, buy every single cryptocurrency that you can, buy absolutely everything. These are the ranges that we are going to see a massive bounce out of. I promise you that.
Thanks again for stopping by the channel. I appreciate your support. In a second, you're going to see some pop-ups that are going to have all of my social media links and everything that you want to know or hear or see from Nighthawk. So click on them. I hope your crypto bags stay full, and I wish you all good fortune in life. See you on the next one.